I was talking about being on a roller coaster, and I have to say this week was incredible. I had food poisoning on Tuesday, and then yesterday I tripped and almost broke my big toe and actually had an evening of pain in my toe. So life is a roller coaster, as I've said, and I am learning to ride that roller coaster. Actually, I think I like better the image of the wave. I actually created my little girl here. So the waves of life, the waves of cravings. We're going to talk a lot today about the waves and riding the wave to a better place, knowing that every negativity will come to an end, that feelings and emotions and cravings come and go. So today I want to really teach you, to help you to get through the point in which your weight loss goals are at the beginning. And what happens is, quite often, is we find a new way of eating, we make choices, and then what happens is our bodies start to rebel. So what we know is that our brains are rewarded for things that are going to keep us alive, and food is one of those things. So when we eat, we get a hit of dopamine and serotonin and basically create desire to make sure that we will continue to eat, to continue to do the thing that will keep us alive. Now, recent studies have also determined that parts of the brain that light up while we're having a craving or an urge are the parts of our brain that come with memory. So not only is our present involved in this desire and this craving, but also some memories, the memories of how you rewarded yourself in the past, perhaps how you de-stressed in the past by using food. And so the memory of that reward is also creating that strength in your brain. And so, as we know, neurons that fire together wire together. So as you create a habit, which is pretty much an unconscious act, and what happens is the brain loves habits because it doesn't have to do that much work. So it likes the idea of creating a habit. Now, the one thing that we do know that we are going to use today to our benefit is that our brain is plastic. We know that the brain can change, something that we didn't know 20 years ago. And we know that we can influence and change the way that our brains work, and by rewiring new neural pathways. So we know this information, and what we want to do is use it to our advantage. So instead of the unconscious way of doing things unconsciously to our disadvantage, we are now going to learn consciousness and how to take what we know and all the research that's been done about the brain, and we're going to make it work for us. So one of the things that we also know and that I teach my clients, in addition to teaching how to eat and what to eat and the kinds of foods that we want to eat, but that when we make the body and the brain work together as a strategy, it's something that helps us to continue on our weight loss and to get through the bumps or the waves of life. So combinations of food store as fat in our body. And we know that the species has survived because of this fat storage, because we have had to gone through famines and hardships through the course of the development of the species. And if we weren't able to store fat, we would not have survived as a species. So we have this incredible ability, the body and the brain together, to work together to store fat, to keep us alive, and to even plan for the future. Now, unfortunately, today, we know that 40% of American women over the age of 40 are obese. So we know that this fat storage thing, it's actually killing us. But it is the way the body's working. So it's actually not our fault. It's really learning to be educated and to make choices where we can have, again, this body and mind working together. So I can tell you that processed foods, sugary foods, and And bad fats are causing your body to, and also high sugar, low fat, high sugar is causing your body to store fat. So what we want to do is we want to stop eating those things. But when we stop eating those things, our body rebels. Okay, we have to go through this period of time where the body is seeking first homeostasis. It wants to stay the same. The body doesn't want, in the brain, it's easier just to keep doing things. So that's what the brain and the body want to do. They want to keep moving in the same path. So we're disturbing that path. But in order to ride through to the other side of that path, we have to learn certain strategies. Now, sometimes that would be headache or body aches, and again, these urges or these cravings that will come upon us, and maybe in the past have been the thing that has caused us to give up on our diet plan, and that's why we want to work with not only the body, but also with the mind, and that will give you that extra help to reach your weight loss goals. Okay, so I want to say there is value on the other side. So if you look at here, she is riding the waves, and sometimes it's up and sometimes it's down. But what I personally know, and I have gained from riding those cravings and riding those waves, is that on the other side, once this food is eliminated from your system for a period of time, the cravings will get less. You won't have those cravings. Then you're really more looking at your mind and what your little sneaky thoughts might be that would also at that point be the problem in your weight loss goals. But getting through the difficulty of the cravings is something that we can do, and what happens on the other side is we achieve our goals, we have a lot more vitality, we know that we're not killing ourselves, and so we get to enjoy life without this heavy process and also negativity that comes with that, because for many of us, eating badly creates depression.